an MP, and a deputy minister, who we all know him in the person of Honorable Collins Inaugural. MP for Pension North. So without much ado, as and when the other dignitaries come, I will introduce them. Without much ado, I invite Engineer Ama Bedua II, Fifuhima of Aguna Lower Dintra Traditional Council in the Central Region of Ghana, to introduce the chairman for the occasion. Thank you.
The chairman for today. Here are a brief profile about our chairman for today's program. Our chairman for today's program is a professor of construction technology and management at the Department of Construction. Our chairman for today's program is a professor of construction technology and management at the Department of Construction Technology and Management, University. He has served as a provost of College of Art and Built Environment from 2016 to 2019. He has also served as a visiting professor of Linnaeus University of Sweden. Our chairman for today was a head of Building Technology Department and Deputy Director of this Institute of Distance Learning of University. Born in Kumasi, our chairman was a former district chief executive of Kumasi District Assembly in the Ashanti region. He is a professor scientist, a specialized scholar in the field of building technology and timber engineering. As a contemporary researcher, he has conducted extensive research and published over 200 articles and mentored many in academia. Our chairman is currently the chairman of Board of Governance of Kumasi Senior High School, Executive Director and Chairman of Director TIPA, Memorial Education Foundation, and Chairman of Kumasi Rural Bank. He is a member of the Governing Council of University, a member of Academic Board, and many others. With a round of applause, shall we welcome our chairman, Professor Joshua Ayapa. Thank you.
Oh, let's do it better. Let's do it better. So we invite our guest of honor, Honorable Engineer Dr. Nana Atuata, Head of Local Government Service. Honorable Collins Intim, Deputy Minister for Local Government. Our Chief Director, James Opon-Mensah, Chief Director at the Office of the Local Government Service. Architect Kodo Dako Asante, representing Asante Regional Minister, Honorable Simon Asare. We invite our immediate past president, Mr. Omari Safo, President of LoGSEA, former President of LoGSEA. Now, our current chairman, George Nyame, LoGSEA current president. Institution of Engineering and Technology representative, Engineer Seth Enyim, who is the executive secretary. Please come up, join the dignitaries. A rep from Ghana Institution of Engineers, a rep of Ghana Institution of Surveyors, thank you. Please, those standing at the end of the hall, can you have your seat? The program. So without much ado, I call upon Architect Kudo Asante to welcome us.
Thank you. Mr. Chairman, the head of local government service, the chief director, local government service, executives of the association, distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. It is my pleasant duty to join you this morning at the inauguration. I'm extremely grateful for this opportunity to be part of the inauguration of an association whose members are key officials of the metropolitan, municipal and district assemblies in the region and in Ghana. Congratulations for your efforts in putting yourself together in an association. It is my hope that you will collectively work out strategies that will make your responsibilities at the assemblies have positive impact on infrastructure development in the country. Mr. Chairman, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, infrastructure development is critical for them. It is therefore crucial that actors and stakeholders in this space ensure professionalism and compliance of all regulations and standards set for the construction sector. Mr. Chairman, the theme for the ceremony, ensuring sustainable infrastructure development, the role of the local government service engineer, is apt and very appropriate as government is focusing on value for money as it expands infrastructure in the country. The investment by government in infrastructure is enormous. It is therefore the expectation of all that this infrastructure will last a lifetime. Therefore, it is a great cost to government if the infrastructure gives way within a short time. Mr. Chairman, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, to address these and other challenges within the building and construction sector, several legislation have been enacted to regulate the building and construction industry. These include the Local Governance Act of 2016, Act 936, the Land Use and Spatial Planning Act, Act 925, the National Building Regulations of 1996, LI 1630, and the Building Code of 2018, GS 1207. These are expected to regulate and mitigate any adverse effects of construction activities and transform the entire sector. Unfortunately, the building and construction sector is still fraught with several challenges, including building at unauthorized locations such as waterways, road reservations, and reservations for public facilities such as schools, markets, and recreational facilities. Other challenging issues including building without permits, building of substandard structures, and the use of substandard building materials, among many others. These result in flood disasters, rampant domestic fires, collapse of buildings, ripping off of roofs of buildings, inaccessibility of buildings to persons with disability, among many others. These undoubtedly cause destruction to lives and properties which affect economic growth and development. The role of the engineer is therefore to conceptualize, design, supervise, and manage the construction of these infrastructure projects in the various jurisdictions. While engaged in this, the engineer also protects the general public and the worker on site by maintaining a safe work environment. Unfortunately, this blatant disregard of the provisions of the law is perpetuated in the full glare of our engineers and other key officers at the assemblies. It is our responsibility to prove to the citizenry that as engineers, we are well and able to live up to the expectations and play our roles as expected without also compromising our positions. Mr. Chairman, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Section 104 of the Local Governance Act, Act 936, mandates the district planning authorities to make bylaws to regulate building in the districts, while Section 106 of the same Act empowers the district planning authority to issue building permits for prospective developers. The district assembly is therefore clothed with the authority to ensure that the various legislations guiding the building and construction industry are enforced and complied with by all stakeholders in the sector. By your position as engineers, you are to ensure that shoddy projects are avoided to ensure value for money. It is also important that you collaborate with consultants of projects that are awarded at the national level. Again, I wish to advise the engineers and your colleague fiscal planning officers of the assemblies to ensure that you complement each other and jointly ensure development control and proper development of structures. Mr. Chairman, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, on this note, I wish you well and pray that our association will focus on its objectives and play its role effectively to ensure that the assemblies deliver on their mandates in the delivery of infrastructure for our people. As an association, make it a point to develop yourselves and encourage your members to broaden their horizon. Congratulations on your inauguration, and God bless us all. Thank you.
Oh, shall we do it better? Shall we do it better? Thank you. Can we have on stage Architect Victor Mensah, Chief Architect with Koda? Sylvia Anderson, Head of Works for Tichima Municipal Assembly. And the President of Grand Ahafo is Brusak, Bonnie is Brusak President. We also have our own, who is the Municipal Coordinating Director at Lezokuku Municipal Assembly. Shall we give it to Engineer Cheko? Mr. Chairman, Mpenimfo say who we fra now cover. So on this note, I will invite you to give your chairman's response.
I'm so delighted and proud to be part of this important occasion ceremony. I say so because of several reasons. Particularly, I feel happy to be in the midst of people who have passed through my hands. At least I find one or two of and so it's good to share with you such momentous occasion. It is also interesting to note that these people are everywhere in this country doing their best and contributing to the development of this country. And it is great to be part of the life of such people. The third is that whenever I hear local government, whenever I hear MMDs, I feel very proud. And I still think that I am there and will pass. Just a few years back, I was roaming around various parts of this country as a district chief executive, and in every corner of the Kumasi district as a district chief executive. So I always see myself as part of the district executive, and having worked with people like you, I really understand and appreciate your sense and the work that you do. So I am so happy that you chose me to chair today's march, and I pledge that I will do my best with all your support so that this ceremony, which is your AGM also, and your inaugural meeting, becomes a success. Let me take this opportunity to welcome you once again to the University, your alma mater. Many of you have not been coming here, but I think today you are very happy. And here keeps changing, keeps moving forward. And now you see the new university. Better go along that road towards the new data created there, and you see the real university. But welcome once again.
Thank you very much, Professor Ayakwa. Car number AC 158-21.
Honorable Augustine Collins Intim, MP and Deputy Minister for Local Government, Decentralization and Rural Development. Honorable Dr. Engineer Nana Atuata, Head of Service, Mr. James Opong Mensah, the Chief Director of Local Government Service, please, what's the name? Please, your name has escaped me, so pardon me. My distinguished National Council members gathered in hearing, former President of LoGSEA in the person of Engineer Richard Omari Safo, invited guests, colleague engineers, and friends of the media. I also stand on the already established protocols and greet you all in peace. Good morning. Mr. Chairman, I respectfully seek the leave of you to borrow the words of Professor Chenua Achebe. Achebe says in his famous book, The Things Fall Apart, a book, if you are here and if you've not read it, I will ask you to go back and read that book. Very interesting. Achebe says, when we gather together in the moonlight village ground, it is not because of the moon. Every man can see it in his own compound. We came together because it is good for kinsmen to do so, unquote. On the advice of Professor Achebe, members of the engineering group of local government service also thought it wise to come together and establish for themselves an association which will champion its members' interests and welfare. Mr. Chairman, the association, which is to be adopted very soon, has been in the boardroom for a while. Immediately after the promulgation of the LI 2009-1961, which amalgamated the District West Unit, Public Works Department, Department of Federal Roads, and Water and Sanitation Unit at the various MMDAs as one entity called the head of West Department. There was the need for members to form that association. Members may recall that somewhere in March 2016, we met at Kumasi Technical University for the maiden meeting. At that meeting, we elected my senior as the president, Engineer Omari Safo, for 2-year term. At the end of their term office, we also met at Anita Hotel in Ajoso to renew their mandate. Unfortunately, the executives were afflicted with internal squabbles, leading to nearly derail of our course. So, in October last year, the current executive, led by my good self, Engineer George Kwame Ame, were elected. And in February this year, we were ushered into office. As we came into the office, the call by members was the inauguration of this association, which we are witnessing now. So, Mr. Chairman, if you see members full of high spirit, it means they are rightly to do so. Mr. Chairman, I also take the presence of my big shots to make one or two appeals. The first one is the non-representation of West Department at the regional level. Members see this as a gap in the local government structure, which needs to be filled and fixed. We therefore appeal to the head of local government service to create and appoint a regional director of West with oversight responsibilities over all staff of West Department within the region. We humbly propose that a regional director of West We humbly propose that a regional director of Works must be someone of the most senior and be assigned with defined roles, duties, and responsibilities, just as it exists for other units and departments. It is our humble belief that the appointment of the regional director of Works will strengthen and enhance the regional monitoring and evaluation mandate of the various RCCs. Mr. Chairman, another concern that members have asked me to put before our bishops is the non-availability of basic logistics and working tools for members to carry out their lawful duties and mandate. It is observed for each year's budget, the MMDA the Metropolitan Municipal District Assemblies, they devote substantial portion of their resources for provision of infrastructures like roads, school blocks, clinics, IT centers, places of convenience, and so on and so forth. The Works and the Roads departments have the mandate to ensure that projects undertaken by the MMDAs are executed according to the specification stated in the contract. Unfortunately, Mr. Chairman, the reality on the ground is that, with the exception of few districts and those in the Greater Accra, the rest do not have even a vehicle to carry out project supervision. This makes project supervision very extremely difficult and ineffective. We therefore appeal to the local government minister and head of service to provide the two departments with pickups and basic tools like Smith hammer to test that when we go to site, we could test the strength of concrete as to whether it meets the specification stated in the contract. Mr. Chairman, we respectfully pray that our concern put before our heads will be honored. For I want to promise our bosses that they should give us the tool and we shall deliver the goods. On this wise of Western Church, I welcome you all. Thank you.
I must say that the engineers at the Office of the Local Government Service are also part of the association. Before a keynote address, shall we have a musical interlude just to prepare for the keynote address?
Field Officers Conference. I boarded a plane at 6:40 a.m. Around 7:15, that was to touch down in Tamale. There's an announcement from the pilot. There's a problem in the cockpit. Emergency. We need to fly back to Accra. We'll be in Accra at 8 o'clock. Then I asked myself, emergency, 7:15. We are landing at 7:30. Then why do you have to fly back to Accra and land at 8 o'clock? But who will answer me? I was just thinking aloud. Little did I even know that the pilot had already made a U-turn. So around 8:05, we landed in Accra. When I got there, I said, I'm in Nkubio. When we were to prepare for another aircraft, I said, I'm not going again. So I went home. Well, I was really shocked, emotionally unstable, traumatized. For me to wait again for another flight, no, I went home. Then, from my office, we sent a soft copy of my speech to Director of Admin, Ms. Goda Sante, who had already arrived in Tamale on Thursday. On Monday morning, I woke up and Honorable Dambuki has sent me a WhatsApp message. Good morning, Doc. Any explanation? By that was the front page story of the Chronicle, that local government service to lay off staff, panic in MMDAs. Entry officers bloated. I said, I have not said this anyway. So let me find out from Golda whether he read my speech. Golda said no, because the speech that was before me, there was nothing like that. Then I sent the same WhatsApp to the chief director. Have you said this anywhere? I said, to me, where have I gone? I have not said this anywhere. The next 15 minutes, NEET FM had called me to interview me on that. So many radio stations in Ghana on Monday morning. Really, there was panic in the system. So when I went to office, I asked Chief Director, issue a statement to this. I called the press conference, Chronicle, Daily Guide, Ghanaian Times, Daily Graphic. I gave the speech to them, read this. In 15 minutes time, let's discuss the press conference. Is there anything like laying off staff in this speech? All of them said no. So I had the Chronicle lady sitting there. I said, no, you are not the one who wrote the speech. But how did this come about? Do you go to programs covering the program, or you go with your own agenda? And media people, some of you, are you here to cover this program, or you have your own agenda? I was shocked. Nothing of that nature was said by Golda. So where did it come from? Particularly at this time, that Ghana government is having negotiation with the IMF. And people have their own agenda saying that maybe President Akufo is going to lay off staff. You want to use me? You won't get me. So just to assure you, there's nothing like that. Rather, if you're able to secure financial clearance now, we need fiscal planners. We need horticulturists. We need landscape designers, so that the fiscal planning department of the special planners and the parks and gardens can be strengthened. So just to assure all of you, there's nothing like that in the pipeline. So having cleared that, Prof. Chairman said he's happy anytime he sees you, because most of you pass through exams. I'm equally happy, because 21 years ago, both Chairman and myself were district chief executives. And the deputy minister was one of us 21 years ago this year. So I'm happy anytime I meet Prof. Ayakwa. He's been with us at the grassroots and he's now at the top there. So worship him. So it's really a joy to be part of the inaugural ceremony of local government service Engineers Association, LoGSEA. But let me ask, where do we have the roads engineers? Are they not part of the engineers in the local government service? If they are they here? Yes. Yeah, then I'm happy that you are here, but we don't want this. We don't want to see the works are the only engineers that we have in the local government service. We have roads engineers, and they are engineers. And it is local government service engineers association. It's not works association. So I'm happy that you are here. Thank you very much. I bring you good tidings to the management and staff of the Office of the Head of Local Government Service. Being here today at KNUST gives me a good sense of belonging, especially in my capacity at the Head of Local Government Service, a development engineer, and an alumnus of this famous university. I left this campus with an MSc degree in Rural Planning and Management in July 1997, some 25 years ago. After I attained my first degree in irrigation engineering in China in 1989. Those days in China, irrigation engineering either belonged to the agric engineering department or the civil engineering department. So in my university, South China Agricultural University, Guangzhou, it was under the agric engineering department. And so I have a BSc in agric engineering, majoring in irrigation engineering. So I'm happy that I'm with you, colleague engineers. I'm excited today to be asked to deliver the keynote address on your theme, enhancing sustainable infrastructure development, the role of local government service engineers. I wish to express my appreciation for the humbling invitation extended to me to be part of this August gathering here today. Prof. Chair, as you are aware, Local Governance Act 2016 at 936 provides for the establishment of a local government service to provide for, among others, a national development planning system to define and regulate planning procedures of district assemblies as a way of bringing development to a doorstep of grassroots. In achieving this, departments of district assemblies are established as enshrined in the second schedule of Act 936 to see to the full implementation of development activities at the local level. In furtherance to this, the local government department of district assemblies Line 1961 clearly highlights the functions of the works department, which includes assisting district assemblies to formulate policies on works within the framework of national policies and to establish and specify the programs of action necessary for the implementation of physical plans within the districts. This underscores the essential and inalienable role played by the works department in the infrastructure development of district assemblies. Prof. Chair, you agree with me that the world is moving at a faster pace and sustainable development has become a global phenomenon. And across the world, countries have developed various initiatives to achieve their tangibles accordingly. This is emphasized by Goal 9 of the SDGs, that's Agenda 2030, which shows the need to promote industry, innovation, and infrastructure in our world. as well as SDG 11, making cities inclusive, safe, resilient, and sustainable. These fall directly under the behest of local government service engineers, which requires the highest form of dedication and sacrifice to be able to achieve these goals. Prof. Chair, colleague engineers, in spite of these crucial functions of the engineering class, there are some challenges that impede your effective performance, notable of which is the lack of collaboration with other classes. And I will add this to what the President alluded to. The issue about lack of regional head of works at the regional level. The head of works at the regional level has been with us, a conversation that is still on our table. I think I agree that there's a need for us to have a regional head, except that, are we calling it works? Are we calling it roads? Because in my office, we don't really recognize the regional heads of roads. We don't. And how would the PWD at the regional level also see? Is it that we are to advertise to have a regional head as regional head of engineering, so that whether PWD, whether works, whether roads will be within, in the sense that they can have backstopping rule from that regional office? It is something that we are considering. We get to you, we judge and really get the way out. The tools that the President alluded to, every assembly has its own budget. Every assembly has its own budget. And so if you have a budget as the work department, as the road department, and PWD, is it not possible to factor the tools that you need to ensure that standards can be achieved in your own budget? But in my office, we don't have budget for the MMDs. It's only when we are fortunate to have the what is it called? For not for compensation, it CapEx, the capital expenditure. And normally, unfortunately, the capital expenditure doesn't really come anymore. I remember in my 5.5 years in local government service, during the time that we had a capital expenditure for the MMT was what we had for budget, regional budget analysts, that we procured 11 pickups at that time for them. And even because I gathered that because budget is close to Ministry of Finance, that was done. Unfortunately, when it comes to other classes, we are challenged. So when it comes to buying tools for you to work with, I think as MMDAs, if we need to maybe sensitize your chief executives or creating directors in that light, we'll do that. But it will be difficult that money is to be given to our office to distribute to MMDAs for that purpose. It will be difficult. Ministry of Finance will approve that budget as part of our budget. Since RCC's MMDA budget are different, except that it comes as bulk in the local government service budget, but already delineated. So I think we need to look at that from that angle. Now let me mention some of the challenges that we have seen. First has to do with lack of collaboration between most of you and your fiscal planning officers. Indeed, assemblies that are doing well are assemblies where the engineers and the fiscal planning officers are together. Those assemblies, we know some of them, I cannot mention to you. The engineers and the fiscal planning officers, they work hand in hand. And for me, that's the best way to go. The time is gone where classes want to remain in their respective silos. It won't work. We need to collaborate. Works procurement, works fiscal planning, works development planning. We need to work together. Even works and roads. There are times works are doing roads. But all these works that you are doing is not enough. You also want to extend to roads. Roads also do works. The roads don't come, but they go. We need to collaborate, but we should know our confined limits, areas that we need to perform so that there will be industrial peace in our MMDs. As local government service practitioners and reps of the central government at the local level, we have the honors of making local government units highly responsive to the needs of our constituents. This will require that we work in unison with the key focus of achieving the vision of local government service in becoming a world-class, decentralized, and client-oriented service. It is important to appreciate that the jobs, roles, classification of all the classes, especially the fiscal planning department, I charge you to work closely. As discussed during the workshop, we organize for fiscal planning engineering classes. In fact, it is important to note that the tangibles of development are achieved only through a concerted effort. Towards enhancing sustainable infrastructure development, engineers are also admonished to showcase professionalism in your line of work and eschew all forms of corrupt and ill-mannered behaviors that would taint the image of the local government service. Third, currently, central government is making efforts towards digitalizing all sectors of the economy. I believe this is an opportunity that engineers can tap into. In your functional rules, if we want to sustain our infrastructural development, it is public knowledge that revenue mobilization in MMDs is still very low, which makes these assemblies over-dependent on central government for fiscal support. This mostly stems from revenue leakages and an inefficient system of revenue mobilization. As engineers, you have a major role to play in checking these menace to ensure that revenues are effectively collected and accounted for, more particularly from your own development control. Very important. A little while ago, my chief director was asking me, so the menace of Galamsey, engineer, do you have a role to play? What is new? We are not saying you are into Galamsey, but we are asking that you provide solutions as far as engineering is concerned. Don't you have any role to play? Yes, so why no? You see, you didn't listen. You think I was saying you are into Galamsey. Although some of you may. Number 4, as key stakeholder in your factory performance, the OHLGS seeks to solicit support to sensitize staff on the operational manual, develop for physical planning and engineering classes. This to ensure that staff within these classes become more abreast with the issues and protocols surrounding their work to enhance your level of professionalism. 5th, as you may be aware, Engineering Council has approved the Ghana Institute of Engineering and the Institute of Engineering Technology to build capacities of engineers. I will therefore challenge all engineers to take advantage of this opportunity to upgrade your knowledge and skills so as to maximize your potentials. 6th, the need for innovation. Engineers are admonished to be innovative as a major way of finding local solutions for the many engineering problems within the MMDAs. Further, engineering practitioners must be allowed to apply the standard building code developed by the Ghana Standards Authority to ensure consistencies in engineering services across the country. Finally, as local government service engineers, you should reinforce or change your values, mindset, and attitudes that condition our environment for pursuing an enhanced, sustainable infrastructure development in our MMDs. It's my firm conviction that as engineers, we can. As I conclude, I want to leave you with these words of inspiration by Sir Henry Royce, an English engineer and a car designer. And I quote, "Strive for perfection in everything you do. Take the best that exists and make it better. When it does not exist, design it," unquote. On this note, I wish that you all ponder over these few thoughts. Thank you very much, and may God bless us all.
Shall we give it?
Honorable Minister, if you care to know, I was also here in 1990 to read biological sciences and came back to do reproductive physiology and then ended up in 2000. So I feel honored to be part of you today. Professor Chair, I must say that this is happening at a time when the ministry is committed to building the capacities of the key officers of various metropolitan, municipal, and district assemblies, of which the first round of orientation and the zonal refresher courses for the newly appointed metropolitan, municipal, and district chief executives were organized. The topics were carefully selected to equip the chief executives to increase their knowledge to enable them deliver effectively on their mandate. Professor Chair, the inauguration of the Association of Engineers at the local level ties in perfectly with the vision of government to deepen local governance and decentralization. And indeed, the effective delivery of service in MMDs depends largely on the performance of technocrats, particularly the engineers and planners. The choice of the team ensuring sustainable infrastructural development, the role of local government service engineers is apt and consistent with the policy directions of government, and for that matter, the Ministry of Local Government, Decentralization and Rural Development. Ladies and gentlemen, Article 240(1)(2) of the 1992 Constitution of the Republic of Ghana provides that Ghana shall have a system of local government and administration which shall, as far as practicable, be decentralized. The system of decentralized local government shall have the following features. 1. Parliament shall enact appropriate laws to ensure that functions, powers, responsibilities, and resources at all times transfer from the central government to the local government units in a coordinated manner. 2. Parliament shall by law provide for the taking of such measures as are necessary to enhance the capacity of local government authorities to plan, initiate, coordinate, manage, and execute policies in respect of all matters affecting the people within their area, with a view to ultimately achieving localization of those activities. 3. There shall be established for each local government unit a sound financial base with adequate and reliable sources of revenue. 4. As far as practicable, persons in the service of local government shall be subject to effective control of local authorities. And lastly, to ensure the accountability of local government authorities, people in particular local government areas shall, as far as practicable, be afforded opportunity to participate effectively in the governance. Professor Chair, I wish to emphasize that your ability to perform your functions through the delivery of sustainable infrastructure to meet the needs and aspirations of citizens calls for innovations and thinking outside the box. It is time to realize as professionals the call to service and refrain from doing things the old ways and yet expecting different results. The renaming of the ministry pursuant to EI 12, the Ministry of Local Government, Decentralization and Rural Development, clearly demonstrates the vision of His Excellency the President, and for that matter, we must all work hard to realize the goal of deepening local governance and improve delivery of services to the ordinary citizen. Indeed, it is time to let go the lukewarm attitude and unprofessional behavior and conducts of some officers in our metropolitan, municipal, and district assemblies, and let us, from now on, try to address the various challenges confronting district assemblies professionally by providing technical advice and ensuring effective supervision of infrastructural facilities. Professor Chair, the Ministry of Local Government, Decentralization and Rural Development will continue to champion the cause of decentralized local governance in the country by supporting our metropolitan, municipal, and district assemblies with policy guidance, manuals, and logistics to enable the assemblies function effectively. Section 729 of the Local Governance Act 2016 Act 936 stipulates that Department of the District Assembly shall have the staff that may be necessary for the proper, effective performance of their functions. Additionally, Section 81 states that Department of District Assembly shall collaborate and cooperate with non-decentralized departments, state-owned enterprises, public operations operating in the district to ensure a coordinated approach to the development and the management of the districts, avoid duplication and ensure a more convenient, cost-effective implementation of programs and projects. It is therefore imperative to state that the role of engineers in our metropolitan, municipal, and district assembly is very critical to the delivery of basic services and infrastructure to the citizenry. There is the need for a stronger collaboration, especially among the professional bodies, to foster intersectorial and agencies collaboration for a more coordinated development to promote value for money. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, permit me to remind all present that the month of October is globally accepted as Urban Month, where stakeholders engage in issues relating to sustainable urban development. The Ministry of Local Government, Decentralization and Rural Development started this year's Urban October with a press briefing jointly organized with the Ministry of Works and Housing and the National Development Planning Commission to commemorate the World Habitat Day on the 3rd of October 2022 under the theme, Mind the Gap, Leave No One and Place Behind. A report on the implementation of the new urban agenda, which is a global policy framework to guide the development of human settlements, was launched. And distinguished ladies and gentlemen, permit me once again to bring your minds on how crucial the field of engineering is to build sustainable human settlement. And I wish to reiterate government's commitment to the achievement of the target of the Sustainable Development and Sustainable Development Goals 11, which is to make cities inclusive, safe, resilient, and sustainable, and thus identifies sustainable urbanization and the new urban agenda. Professor Chair, it is time for us as professionals to take cognizance of the issues of inclusivity, urban poverty, and limited access to basic social and infrastructural services in our towns and communities, especially for the poor and the vulnerable in our society. This is a call to action to ensure the building of resilience and inclusive, livable cities. It is important to emphasize that cities can harness transformational change and improve the lives of their inhabitants. However, in many contexts, cities lack the capacity to make the needed change. It is time to equip actors with the capabilities and tools to address the growing global challenges posed by urbanization, which we know this platform will certainly provide. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the growing inequalities and the vulnerabilities have been exacerbated by the CCC crisis, which is the COVID-19, the climate change, and the conflict, which leave much to be desired. The pandemic and the recent conflict have reversed years of progress made in the fight against urban poverty. According to the UN Habitat's World Cities report, the number of people drawn into poverty because of COVID-19 were between 119 and 124 million in 2020, and between 143 and 163 million in 2021. Tackling urban poverty and inequality has become, therefore, urgent, a global priority. Cities and local government play a frontal role in responding to crises and emergencies, as well as planning for an inclusive, resilient, and a green future. To prepare urban areas for future catastrophes, we need to start with the cities. Localizing the implementation of sustainable development goals is therefore more important than ever. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Sections 226 of the Local Governance Act of 2016, Act 936, states that each district assembly and every member or officer of the district assembly shall furnish the president or the minister with information that the president or the minister may require in relation to the functions of the district assembly. It is therefore envisaged that the ministry and the local government service will deepen collaboration to ensure effective and efficient delivery of services by all staff of our metropolitan, municipal, and district assemblies to reduce audit infractions relating to delay in project delivery and abandoned projects in our assemblies. We will strengthen the Works Department to ensure improved supervision of all ongoing projects in our assemblies. On this note, Professor Chairman, I wish on behalf of the Honorable Minister for Local Government, Decentralization and Rural Development, His Honor Daniel Bochi, and indeed the entire ministry, declare Local Government Service Engineers Association duly inaugurated. Thank you so much.
Led by Chief Engineer Michael Disi, Director of Urban Roads, Secondary Takradi Metro. Shall we see all Urban Roads engineers? Shall we see you? Shall we see you? You are most welcome. Can we have a musical interlude, DJ?
Very well. What lies ahead is also not going to be easy, but I'm very sure with such a formidable executives, everything will be fine. However, they need your cooperation and your support for this association to thrive to greater heights. May I also comment on 3 other things. The first one is on the issues that the President raised, which is first on the appointment of a regional director or a regional engineer for works in every region. Although the head of local government service in principle has accepted that, and the minister has also agreed to that, my worry is that it is delaying on their desks. Yes. It is something that I think will be very beneficial, and they accept that. And something that is important should not delay this far. I understand this. The way things work, I understand. You know, in the past, it was even very difficult for the local government service to accept some professional qualifications into the service. And people have to struggle a lot. We are so grateful to the current crop of leadership at the local government that many of these issues have been resolved. I don't know if there are few others, but I'm sure they will have to think through and ensure that nobody is left behind, because the world is becoming so small and that everybody is trying to upgrade his or her skills. Please let us address this issue with all the urgency that it deserves. The second issue is on provision of tools and equipment and infrastructure for the engineers, the works departments to do their work effectively. It is only in Africa that we appoint somebody, we recruit somebody, and fail to provide the needed tools for the person to do it. If you go to our districts, you will see that the works department is suffering so much when it comes to vehicles. When the MCE or DCE wants to go somewhere, who will give them the vehicle to go and monitor a project that is going on? It means that we do not understand the issue of sustainability when it comes to infrastructure delivery. Because the little money that we have, we are using it to provide infrastructure, yet we do not equip the engineers to be able to go and monitor and ensure that the works are done effectively and well. You see, this means that the work will not survive tomorrow. So there will be no infrastructure for tomorrow. And that the money that we are spending now will go to waste. If for any assembly that is worth its while, provision of tools and infrastructure, especially vehicles for engineers, for works department to do their work, will be cardinal or number one on the agenda. And I think that we should not brush this aside. Even though the head of local government doesn't have money to provide this, I am sure the ministry should be able to speak into the ears of the MMDC so that they see this as very important and provide such infrastructure for you to be able to do your work. Other than that, if you look at a district like mine, the villages that one has to travel, because we are providing schools under trees, how do we go into those hinterlands to be able to see? So if you go there, the projects that are delivered there are shoddy. And so you are lambasted as engineers as to what you are doing in the district for such projects to be there. But how could you walk into such hinterlands? Please, let's do our best, but also expect that the districts will understand some of these things and make it a very important issue in their deliberations to provide vehicles, at least pickups, for you to be mobile and execute your work. The last thing that I want to talk about is on upgrading your skills. I said the world has become very small. Today you are very lucky. In the past, the whole of this university, I think it was chemistry and one other department that could offer master's degree. It was all BS. Today, yes, very difficult. Today, PhDs are everywhere. Today's short courses are everywhere. Weekend programs. What have you been doing with your weekends? Many of you have done very well. Even at the HND level, you had to struggle to come, and a lot of you hold master's degrees, and some are even pursuing PhD degrees. Please, there are short courses which will equip you with the skills that you need to be able to be competent and effective at your point of service. Weekends, these programs are run. Please find time, share your time very well so that you can always move up. I want to advise the head of local government service that we should find ways of providing promotional criteria that will ensure that those who have equipped their skills move to the ladder. And you will need us to come and assist you. As for these people, I will be able to assess them very well and tell you who to move up and who to stay where it is. So please, let's take this opportunity serious and upgrade ourselves whenever we find a chance. Make sure we use our little money. Let's make sure we use our time very well so that tomorrow, even though you might have started as a HND holder, tomorrow you could be anywhere. That will also boost your aura and also your personality. Thank you very much, and may God bless you. I am always available as part of you. Anytime you need me, please run and come and invite me. I will come.
For this occasion, to all dignitaries present, I would like to thank our chairman, Professor Joshua Ejapo, Head of Service, Engineer Dr. Nana Atuata, Chief Director of Local Government Service, and distinguished ladies and gentlemen present. This program cannot go without everybody being present, so we'd like to thank every one of you for making it a point to attend in your numbers, and we say, oh, we should bless you. Thank you.
Thank you, Engineer number one. For us to have records in our archives, it's a newborn baby, so we need to have pictures so that we can remember the day that we adored the newborn baby. So our dignitaries will have a group photograph just in front of the high table. So I think after the group picture, the dignitaries will depart and we go to a second session. So shall we have a group photograph?
Then the national camp and national.
Director of Urban Roads, Secondary Takradi Metro. Shall we see you? All Urban Roads engineers, shall we see you? Shall we see you? You are most welcome. Can we have a musical interlude, DJ?
Very well. What lies ahead is also not going to be easy, but I'm very sure with such a formidable executives, everything will be fine. However, they need your cooperation and your support for this association to thrive to greater heights. May I also comment on 3 other things. The first one is on the issues that the president raised, which is first on the appointment of a regional director or a regional engineer for works in every region. Although the head of local government service in principle has accepted that, and the minister has also agreed to that, my worry is that it is delaying on their desks. Yes. It is something that it is something that I think will be very beneficial, and they accept that. And something that is important should not delay this far. I understand this. The way things work, I understand. You know, in the past, it was even very difficult for the local government service to accept some professional qualifications into the service. And people had to struggle a lot. We are so grateful to the current crop of leadership at the local government that many of these issues have been resolved. I don't know if there are few others, but I'm sure they will have to think through and ensure that nobody is left behind, because the world is becoming so small and that everybody is trying to upgrade his or her skills. Please let us address this issue with all the agency that it deserves. The second issue is on provision of tools and equipment and infrastructure for the engineers, the works departments to do their work effectively. It is only in Africa that we appoint somebody, we recruit somebody, and fail to provide the needed tools for the person to do it. If you go to our districts, you will see that the West Department is suffering so much when it comes to vehicles. When the MCE or DCE wants to go somewhere, who will give them the vehicle to go and monitor a project that is going on? It means that we do not understand the issue of sustainability when it comes to infrastructure delivery. Because the little money that we are using it to provide infrastructure, yet we do not equip the engineers to be able to go and monitor and ensure that the works are done effectively and well. You see, this means that the work will not survive tomorrow. So there will be no infrastructure for tomorrow. And that the money that we are spending now will go to waste. If for any assembly that is worthwhile, provision of tools and infrastructure, especially vehicles for engineers, for works department to do their work, will be cardinal or number one on the agenda. And I think that we should not brush this aside. Even though the head of local government doesn't have money to provide this, I am sure the ministry should be able to speak into the ears of the MMDC so that they see this as very important and provide such infrastructure for you to be able to do your work. Other than that, if you look at a district like mine, the villages that one has to travel, because we are providing schools under trees, how do we go into those hinterlands to be able to see? So if you go there, the projects that are delivered there are shoddy. And so you are lambasted as engineers as to what you are doing in the district for such projects to be there. But how could you walk into such hinterlands? Please, let's do our best, but also expect that the districts will understand some of these things and make it a very important issue in their deliberations to provide vehicles, at least pickups, for you to be mobile and execute your work. The last thing that I want to talk about is on upgrading your skills. I said the world has become very small. Today you are very lucky. In the past, the whole of this university, I think it was chemistry and one other department that could offer master's degree. It was all BS. Today, yes, very difficult. Today, PhDs are everywhere. Today's short courses are everywhere. Weekend programs. What have you been doing with your weekends? Many of you have done very well. Even at the HND level, you have to struggle to come, and a lot of you hold master's degree, and some are even pursuing PhD degree. Please, there are short courses which will equip you with the skills that you need to be able to be competent and effective at your point of service. Weekends, these programs are run. Please find time, share your time very well so that you can always move up. I want to advise the head of local government service that we should find ways of providing promotional criteria that will ensure that those who have equipped their skills move to the ladder. And we will need us to come and assist you. As for these people, I will be able to assess them very well. And tell you who to move up and who to stay where it is. So please, let's take this opportunity serious and upgrade ourselves whenever we find a chance. Make sure we use our little money. Let's make sure we use our time very well so that tomorrow, even though you might have started as a HND holder, tomorrow you could be anywhere. That will also boost your aura and also your personality. Thank you very much, and may God bless you. I am always available as part of you. Anytime you need me, please run and come and invite me. I will come.
For this occasion, to all dignitaries present, I would like to thank our chairman, Professor Joshua Ejapo, Head of Service, Engineer Dr. Nana Atuata, Chief Director of Local Government Service, and distinguished ladies and gentlemen present. This program cannot go without everybody being present, so we'd like to thank every one of you for making it a point to attend in your numbers, and we say, oh, we should bless you. Thank you.
For us to have records in our archives, it's a newborn baby, so we need to have pictures so that we can remember the day that we adored the newborn baby. So our dignitaries will have a group photograph just in front of the high table. So I think after the group picture, the dignitaries will depart and we go to a second session. So shall we have a group photographer?
Then the national campaign,